Shalom, shalom. Want to give honor and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Getting back into the laws, Leviticus 11 chapter. Okay, right. The dietary laws. And these laws are spiritual. Okay, spiritual. All right, let's get into it. All right, let's don't waste no time. Okay, let's go to Leviticus 11 and 1. All right, Leviticus 11 and 1. And the Lord, Slacky, and this Leviticus 11 and 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, verse 2, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. Meaning, this is what we call the dietary law when you read the Leviticus 11 chapter and Deuteronomy 14 chapter, and it's speaking about the dietary law, and it will tell you in Leviticus 11 and 46 and 7 chapter. Let's drop down to verse 46 and 47. Okay, Leviticus 11 and 46. This is the law of the beast, and of the fowl, and of every living creature that moved it in the waters, and of every creature that creepeth upon the earth. Verse 47, to make a difference between the unclean and the clean, and between the beast and between the beast that may be eaten and the beast that may not be eaten. Right. Meaning you can't just eat anything like frog legs, snails, because it moves. That don't mean you can eat it. And you have clean beasts and unclean beasts, and your beasts and your creatures are divided into 4 classification, and you have your beast, and your beasts have subcategories, and your beasts consist of the herd, and they consist of the cattle, and you have your fowls, which are your so-called birds, and then you have the living creatures that moves within the waters, and those are your fishes, whales, and then you have your bottom feeders, and then you have the creeping things like your spiders, ants, centipedes, millipedes, and those are your 4 so-called classification of beasts. And to prove that, you go to 1 King 4 and 33. Let's go to 1 King 4 and 33. Okay. This is 1 King 4 and 33. All right. And he spake of trees, from the cedar trees that is in Lebanon, even unto the hypso, that springed it out of the wall. He spake also of beasts, and of fowl, and of creeping things, and of fishes. Right. Meaning, whenever you hear the Most High speak about his creation of animals as a whole, whether it is a reptile or a bird, and these are always the 4 classifications. Right. Let's go back to Leviticus 11 and 3. Leviticus 11 and 3. Okay, let's Leviticus 11 and 3. Whatsoever parted the hoof and is cloven-footed, and chewed it the cud among the beasts, that shall you eat. Read that again. Whatsoever part the hoof, you got to part the hoof, okay? All right, got to have a split in it, and is cloven-footed, got to be cloven-footed, got to be hard, and chewed it the cud. Okay, got to have all them 3 characteristics, okay? Among the beasts that shall you eat, right? Okay. So, right, so parting the hoof It has a split and clover-footed, meaning that it has a hard top, a hard bottom, and cheweth the cud, meaning it eats its food and digests it and put it into his stomach and regurgitates it and swallow it and put it into another stomach, regurgitate it and chew it again and put it to another stomach, and it does that a few times, and that is chewing the cud. So so these are the classification of the beasts that you can eat. And the Most High had 4 stomachs created on a cow, and you will watch that cow chew that grass, and he will chew it and swallow it, and it will go to one stomach and throw it back up and will chew it again and swallow it. And that is how the Lord created these animals that feed on the grass. So the cow, the food in the mouth to the rumen and back to your mouth, and they chew it some more, and then it goes to the rumen, and then the reticulum, and then the omasum, and then the obamasum, and then the intestines, colon, and then it's out of the anus, and it is out of there, right? And it's out of there. Once it's out of there, out of the anus, right? Okay, and every creature don't do that, and the swine don't do that, and certain beasts don't do that. So the cow do that on a physical level, and that is why you see them videos of the cow chewing the cud. Now, on a spiritual level, the Lord likened us to a sheep, and the Lord likened us like a sheep that feed in the grass, and it tells you that in Psalms 23 and 2 chapter. Let's go to it. Okay. Right, this is on a spiritual level, right? Okay. This is Psalms 23 and 1. All right. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Verse 2. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. Right, meaning we are sheep and we are ruminants on a spiritual level, and we take the word of the Most High, which is this great pasture, which is the grass of the Lord, and it is our job to eat that grass, and we break that down when we read the scriptures. We are the sheep, and we are these ruminants eating of the grass, and the word is the grass, the word that we are learning, and it tells you in Job 34 and 3. Let's go to Job 34 and 3. Okay. Job 34 and 3. This is Job 34 and 3. This is Job 34 and 3, all right? For the ear tried the words as the mouth tasted meat. Right, meaning the same way your physically mouth can taste chicken, beef, lamb, bison, and it is the same way that your ear can taste the truth, or it can taste a lie, and then it can go in your belly, which is your mind. So we should be receiving the word the same way that a sheep received the word, and the same way the calf received the word, and that is how we should be digesting and taking the word of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. So this word that we eat, and we should eat it, meaning hear it, and then we should be able to digest it, and then meditate on it, and then talk about it, and then read it, and then digest it, and then meditate on it, and that is kind of seeking in your belly. When you meditate on it and you do it all over again, and just like a sheep or cow, they eat it and they digest it and they regurgitate it, and that is what we do with the word of the Lord. we eat it and we give it to our people and we meditate on it and we eat more. And this is how we are as sheep. For the ear tried the words as the mouth tasted meat. Right. Let's go to Sirach 39 and 19. Sirach 39, 19. And 36. 36 and 19. Sirach 36 and 19. This is Sirach 36 and 19. And as the palate, it's like as the palate tasted diverse kinds of venison, so do in heart of understanding false speeches. Right, so the palate, like the palate meaning your taste, but so the same way your taste bud can discern red deer or that white-tailed deer or that elk, and you should be able to discern what kind of meat that you are eating, and the same way your belly should be able to know what's the truth and what's not the truth, and that is how that works according to the Spirit. So we have to understand what this dietary law is teaching us, and we are clean beasts on a spiritual level, and it will tell you in Micah 4 and 13 chapter. Right, let's go to Micah 4 and 13 chapter. Okay. This is Micah 4 and 13. Arise and thresh, O daughter of Zion, for I will make thy horn iron, and I will make thy hoofs brass, and thou shall beat in pieces many people, and I will consecrate their gain unto the Lord, and their substance unto the Lord of the whole earth. Right, meaning we are a beast with hoofs, cloven-footed, split hoofs, and that's what the Lord likened in Israel. So we are likened to a beast with a horn and a hoof like a ram, a clean beast. And also Yahushua fed the 5,000, and he set them in companies of 50s in the grass, and it will tell you in Mark 6 and 38 chapter, right? 6 and 38. Let's go to Mark 6. So start verse 38. Okay. It's Mark 6 and 38. He said unto them, how many loaves have ye? Go and see. And when they knew, they say 5 and 2 fishes. Meaning Yahushua is about to feed the multitude 5 and 2 fishes. Verse 39, and he commanded them to make all sit down. It's like read that again. And he commanded them to make all sit down by companies upon the green grass. Right. All right, upon the green grass. And why does that emphasize? Because that goes back to Psalms 23 chapter, and this is showing that the Lord is the shepherd and we are the sheep, and the Psalm 23 says, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me lie down by green pastures. So the Lord make them sit down in the green grass to symbolize them that are people being a sheep and the Lord being a shepherd. And the word that he gave us was the word of the Most High, and that was the word that he gave us, and it is our job to follow that same system as these ruminants beasts, and not just wallow it down whole and forget about it, but to meditate on it and eat it and keep it in your mind and keep going through that cycle of the word of Yahweh about Shem Yahushua. Right, verse 40. And they sat down in ranks by hundreds and by 50s. Right. Let's go back to Leviticus 11 and 3. Leviticus 11 and 3. Leviticus 11 and 3. Whatsoever parted the hoof and is cloven-footed and chewed the cud among the beasts, that shall you eat. Meaning you have to have every characteristic: a split hoof, cloven-footed, and chewed the cud, the beast you can eat, and that's how Yahweh Shem Yahushua get down. Right, verse 4. Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divided the hoof, as the camel, because he chewed the cud, but divided not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. Right, meaning you can't eat camel meat because the camel divided not the hoof. Okay, verse 5. And the coney, because he chewed the cud, but divided not the hoof, he is unclean to you. Right, meaning you can't eat the coney because the coney divided not the hoof. Right. I mean, when y'all reading this, y'all going through these laws, y'all see that coney. I mean, I ain't got no computer in front of me or nothing like that, but y'all gotta look up these words. You gotta just look it up. It's like, where's a coney? Where's a coney? Just hit Google, put coney, and it's gonna show you a picture of the animals, okay? All right. So right, so this things we gotta do. We just can't just like, oh, a coney, and just go over it. We don't know what it looked like or whatever. Right. But anyway, verse 6. And the hair, because he chewed the cud, but it's like, read again. And the hair, because he chewed the cud, but divided not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. Right, meaning you can't eat a hair because the hair divided not the hoof, he is unclean to you. Right. All right. A hair is a rabbit. Okay, like I say, you gotta be like, okay, let me see what's a hair, what's a coney. Okay, let me look it up. Okay, and you see it in the imagine of the pictures or whatever. All right, but anyway, verse 7. And the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet he chewed not the cud, he is unclean to you. Meaning the swine, he chewed not the cud, he is unclean to you, and they are filthy and abominable. And remember, every beast has a particular spirit, and what is the swine known for? Never being clean. And let's go to 2 Peter 2 and 19 chapter. Right. Okay, let's go to 2 Peter 19. Now you got to keep in mind, we bring this out every Sabbath, okay? All right, because we know a lot of people like to eat shrimp, crab, and lobster, and the swine is a pig, okay? Right, it's more laws, it's more things you can eat and you can't eat, but we just give you the basic, because we know why people like to eat shrimp, crab, and lobster, and that damn swine, okay? That pork, all right? So, right, but anyway, let's go to 2 Peter 2 and 19. The 2 Peter 2 and 19. While they promised them liberty, they themselves are the servants of corruption, for of whom a man is overcome, of the same is he brought in bondage. Like, meaning you had a certain men that will teach the word, and they will promise them liberty, and they will say, look, brother, liberty is grace, and you have grace, and the Lord had hope for you, and just repent and put away sin. And men will teach that, but behind the scenes they are the ones that's really sinning, and they are a slave of sin, a servant of corruption. For of whom a man is overcome, of the same is he brought in bondage. Meaning a man might overcome eating pork and might start eating right, and then he might go back to the pork and be brought in bondage under that pork demon. Right. Verse 20. Slacky for the noise. Next, I hope y'all can't hear it, but I'm trying to get this lesson done. Verse 20. For if after they have escaped the pollutions of the world through the knowledge of the Lord and Savior Yahushua Mashiach. They are again entangled therein, and overcome. The latter end is worse with them that it's like it worse with them than the beginning, right? Meaning certain men, and they will overcome the world and overcome sin, and they will get rid. It's like you get righteous and grow their beard out, and will keep the new moon and a few Sabbath days for 2 to 5 years, and then they will go back to who they used to be, and they will be worse, right? Verse 21. For it had been better for them not to have known the way righteous than after they have known it, to turn from the holy commandments delivered unto them. Verse 22. But it is happened unto them according to the true proverb, the dog is turned to his own vomit again, and the soul that was washed to her wallowing in the mire. Right, so the soul is a pig and swine. So you are what you eat, and a pig is known even if you wash it and clean it, and it will go back to the mud, the dirt, and the mire. And also did the Lord say, cast not your pearls before swine, in Matthew 7 and 6 chapter, right? Let's go to it. Matthew 7 and 6, okay? This is Matthew 7 and 6. Give not that which is holy unto the dogs, neither cast ye your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet, and turn again and rend you. Right. It's like, who is the swine right here? Meaning men. So certain men, they have the same traits of swine, and men that was in the truth and went back into the world, and they are swine now, and they are unclean and full of demons and all types of parasites, like neither cast ye your pearls before swine, meaning somebody unworthy, unless they trample them under their feet and turn again and rend you, meaning swine have no sense of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Right. Let's go back to Leviticus 11 and 8. It's like I'm kind of talking loud because I don't want y'all to hear all that what's going on. So I'm trying to talk loud for y'all, make sure y'all can still hear the lesson, okay? All right. I'm reading out loud. Anyway, this is Leviticus 11 and 8. Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you. Meaning we can't eat it or touch it. And remember in the book of 2 Maccabees 7 and 1 chapter, and you had our forefathers rather willing to die than rather to transgress the commandments of the Most High. Right, let's go to it, okay? Let's go to it. 2 Maccabees 7 and 1. Okay? Because that's what we gotta be. We gotta be like our forefathers. We rather die instead of eat that swine. That swine is pork, okay? Alright? This is what we gotta be in these last days, alright? Because it's coming. It's coming, alright? It's coming. So we gotta build our faith up, okay? Alright? Get into these scriptures. The 2 Maccabees 7 and 1. It came to pass also that 7 brethren, like with their mother, were taken and compelled it by the king against the law to taste swine flesh, and were tormented with scourges and whips. Right. Meaning how many so-called black, Hispanics, and Native American Seminole Indians are willing to go through the torment of scourges and whips for not eating swine flesh. Okay. And they got more than scourges and whips with Slunky, when you read this chapter, and you had a man had his arm cut off and his legs and his legs, and he was scalped, and a man was fried in a pan, and a man had his tongue cut out, because they said, I would rather die than to eat pork. Wow, that's how we gotta be in the last day. I'd rather die rather than eat pork, okay? And that is the spirit that we have to have, and it is not just pork, and we have to be willing to die for any commandments and any laws, any statutes, any commandments that's given to us by Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Right. It can't just be, it's not just pork, just any commandments, okay? So we got, we got to be willing to die, okay? Instead of transgress the laws of the Most High, okay? Let's go back to Leviticus 11 and 9. All right? Leviticus 11 and 9. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever have fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall you eat. Meaning your fish has to have fins and scales to eat them, and if it comes out of the water and it don't have fins and scales, and we are not eating it, and it tells you in Psalms 104 and 25 chapter, right? Let's go to Psalms 104, 25. This is Psalms 104 and 25. So is this great and wide sea, wherein are things creeping innumerable, both small and great beasts. Right, meaning you have things in the sea, an infinite amount of creeping things, and you can eat the creeping things in a great and wide sea. And also, when Yahushua was on the scene and they eating fish, and it tells you in John 21 and 10 chapter, right? Let's go to John 21 and 10 chapter, right? Okay. Let's see if Yahushua was eating shrimp, crab, and lobster, okay? Let's see what he was eating. Let's see what's he eating, you know what I mean? This is John 21 and 9 chapter. As soon then as they were come to land, they saw a fire of coal there, and fish laid thereon, and bread. Verse 10. Yahushua said unto them, bring of the fish which ye have now caught. Meaning they were not eating crab, lobster, clams, and Yahushua was eating fish that had fins and scales. Right. Let's go back to Leviticus 11 and 10. Leviticus 11 and 10. Okay, this is Leviticus 11 and 10. And all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living things which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you. Verse 11. They shall be even an abomination to you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcass in abomination. Verse 12. Whatsoever had no fins nor scales. Read again, Slacky. Verse 12. Whatsoever had no fins nor scales in the waters, that shall be an abomination unto you. Verse 13. And these are they which ye shall have in abomination among the fowls. They shall not be eaten. They are an abomination: the eagle and the ostrich, and the osprey. Right. meaning these are certain birds you can eat, and these are more predator birds, and these birds tend to swallow their foods whole, and they will eat a mouse, and they will eat anything, and these birds are eating other unclean animals, right? Like again I said, if you don't know what eagle is, just hit Google, put eagle, watch the magic pictures come up, ostrich, slacky, and the osprey, boom, just put that in there, boom, you'll see, okay, right, this is animals I can't eat, okay, right. Anyway, verse 14, and the vulture and the kite, slacky, and the kite after his kind, right. A vulture is a detrover, meaning they will eat dead bodies, and you got your herbivores, slacky, which are your plant-eating beasts, and your carnivores, slacky, the meat-eating beasts, and your detrivores, slacky, are your animals that eat dead things. So you can eat a vulture and the kite after his kind, and a vulture will eat anything dead or alive, right? So when it say the vulture and the kite after his kind, I mean, just hit Google and see the vulture after his kind, and then show you what type of birds is after his kind, which you cannot eat, okay, right. Verse 15, slacky. Verse 15, every raven after his kind, same concept. Look at the raven, go on Google, look at the raven, and see after his kind, and see what type of birds after his kind, after that raven, okay, right. And you can't eat a raven after this kind, right, okay. Verse 16, and the owl and the nighthawk and the cuckoo, slacky, and the hawk after his kind, okay, right. These animals, and they eat nighttime insects, and mice, rats, rodents, and badgers, right. Verse 17, and the little, slacky, and the little owl, and the cormorant, slacky, and the great owl, meaning these are the certain beasts you can't eat, all right. Verse 18, and the swan, and the pelican, and the slacky, the eagle, right, meaning you can't eat a swan, a duck, a pelican, a flamingo, a crane, those water-like predators, birds, and we can eat that, or golden goose, owls, and an owl eat things that come out at night, and a owl is a nocturnal creature, and their job is to eat things that creep forth in the night time, and it will tell you in Psalm 104 and 20. Let's go to Psalms 104 and 20, okay. So these are the animals you can't be eating, all right? This is Psalms 104 and 20. Thou makest, slacky, thou makest darkness, and it is night, wherein all the beasts of the forest do creep forth. Right, meaning you can't eat these creatures that come out at night, that hunts mice, rats, squirrels, and rodents, because certain creatures are going to come out at night, and Yahweh Hashem Yahushua set them up to be in that spirit, right. So let's go to back to Leviticus 11 and 20, okay. Back to 11 and 20. Hey, it's very important, okay? Because when Jacob trouble come, y'all gonna have to know what can we eat and what we can't eat, okay? Y'all gonna need to know, all right? You know, you gotta have a split hoof, okay? You gotta chew the cud, okay? Right. And he got, what's that? How can I forget that, okay? what's that? Right. You gotta be clover-footed. All right. Right. You gotta have split hoof. Gotta be clover-footed. You gotta chew the cud. Okay. So you can't be getting no hare, no rabbit. Hare is a rabbit, and be thinking like, oh man, I'm out there. Man, I'm hungry, man. I'm hungry. Okay. Now you can't eat that. Okay. So you gotta know them 3 characteristics. You gotta watch them animals. Okay. All right. So this is something we gotta learn. Okay. Right. Let's go to verse 20. Leviticus 11 and 20. Okay. Right. Because like I said, we gotta know what we can eat and what we can't eat. Okay. Yeah, we know the basic, because that's every week. Shrimp, crab, and lobster, and no pork. Well, that's just the starter pack. That's just from, like, out there. That's why people like to eat. But it's more things, what you can't eat and what you can eat, okay? Right? We'll get into that. But anyway, verse 20. All fowls. Verse 20. This is Leviticus 11 and 20. All fowls that creep going up on all fours shall be an abomination unto you. For example, a dragonfly is like a fowl that creep, as a flying creeping thing, or a flying insect, or a cicada. It's like a cicada, and we can eat a dragonfly or a cicada. Cicada, it's like it because they creep on the ground, and that's what Leviticus 11:20 is saying. Right, verse 21. Yet these may ye eat of every flying creeping thing that goes upon all fours, which have legs above their feet, to leap with all upon the earth. Okay, meaning which have legs above their feet, to leap withal upon the earth. Okay, that meaning like a locust, and you can eat a locust, and a locust is clean and not a cricket, and a cricket is not clean, and cricket don't live in the same environment as a locust, and a cricket live in dark Mabry places, and we don't eat beasts that live in the dark, and we eat beasts that need the sun and the light, and these are some of the common denominators of the things that we are allowed to eat, and also we are the children of the day. So again, those are common characteristics of certain animals that we are allowed to eat, and it tells you that in 1 Thessalonians 5 and 5 chapter. Right. Let's go to 1 Thessalonians. Okay. 1 Thessalonians 5 and start with verse 4. This 1 Thessalonians 5 and 4. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that they should overtake you as a thief, meaning we don't dwell in the darkness, and we dwell in the light, and a cricket dwell in the darkness, and they come out at night and make all of those strange sounds, and doing God knows what in the dark in the night, and a locust flies by day, and they move in bands, and a cricket is solo, and a locust has a army, and they depend on one another, and they are solid, and they eat the grass, and they thrive in the light, and they thrive in the sun, and they leap with all upon the earth. And the Lord said that what I want them to eat, if they are going to eat a fowl that creeps, and not a cricket that is nocturnal, sitting in the dark, rubbing his legs together under a rock. And the Lord said, but ye brethren are not in darkness, that they should overtake you as a thief. Right, verse 5. Ye are all the children of light, Slaki, and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. Meaning, so this dietary law teach you about the day and the night and certain behaviors of certain animals that dwell in the night and beasts, beasts that dwell in the night and creatures of the light and humble creatures that we can eat like the sheep and these things. Right. Let's go John 3:19. Go John 3:19. Okay. It's John 3:19. And this is the condemnation that light is come into the world, and men loved darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. Verse 20. For every one that doeth evil hated the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved. Now, meaning now, this is talking about man, but a lot of the nocturnal creatures, and they have behaviors and characteristics that the Lord said, look at the way that these creatures operate. And yeah, I made them, but I don't want my people operating like them and ruling in the dark and eating anything. And remember, we are sheep and we eat grass and we are ruminants. And the Lord likened us to sheep, and we chew the cud and we eat the grass of the Lord. And he put us in the green pastures, and we meditate, and that is regurgitating. We read, we teach, we meditate, and we do the same thing, and that is us chewing that cud. And we are not like these beasts that dwell in dark places and hide up under a rock. So again, our diet is a direct reflection of the spirit that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua has given us, and that is why the creature and the beasts that we eat move in that kind of that same spirit, humble, lowly, and dwelling in the light, and non-violent, non-predator kind of creatures. And that is the spirit that we should be having in our a natural state. It's like, and again, in the dietary law, it is predicated. It's like all of the spirit that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua want you to be in. And as you look at every other beast that the Lord told you not to eat, and that is what the Lord calls man a beast, when man has no understanding, or a man is moving contrary to the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. He has always been likened to a beast. Right. Verse 21. But he that doeth truth come to the light, that his deed may be made manifest, that they are wrought in Yahweh. Right. Let's go back to Leviticus 11:21. Leviticus 11:21. Leviticus 11:21. Yet these may ye eat of every flank creeping things that goaded upon all four, which have legs above their feet, to leap withal upon the earth. 22. Even these of them ye may eat, the locust after his kind, and the bald locust after his kind, and the beetle after his kind, and the grasshopper after his kind. Right. So meaning now, when you look up the word beetle, and it is really going to another type of locust, and it is not going into an actual beetle. And an actual beetle, as far as I know, does not leap. And it's like you got to go into the Hebrew, and if you don't, and you will get caught out there, eating a beetle. So that's really going into different types of locusts, and it is just the way it is translated. Right. All right, let me go to boom, 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 boom. This is a beetle, okay? This is a beetle. All right, we're not eating that, okay? Right. So when you read this Leviticus 11:22, you know, it's basically really going different types of locusts, and it is just the way it is translated, okay? Right. It's not talking about this beetle. All right. Right. Okay. We gotta start going to the Hebrew. You so-called Black, Latino, Native American, Seminole Indian. Okay. Can y'all see it? Make sure I got it. All right. Yeah, I gotta go and start going to Hebrew. The Blue Letter Bible. All right. So you gotta start going to the Hebrew, okay? Right. The Blue Letter Bible.org. All right. Let's stay on 22. All right. Leviticus 11 and 22. We're going to Leviticus 11 and 22. All right. We're scrolling down. Okay, we're going to where it say beetle. Okay, beetle. The beetle. Okay. Okay, what's the strong definition? The leaping insect, a locust. Okay, beetle. Beetle, all right. And let's go into the show outline of biblical usage. A kind of locust, a leaping creature. A leaping creature, okay? All right. Let's show genuineness, Hebrew, Chaldean, Exodus. Okay. It's going into a locust so-called from its leaping, the root come right with wings, with fly with food. Okay. Just trying to show y'all some. Okay. Right. So, but yeah. So basically, when it's talking about the locust, it's not talking about no actual beetle. Okay. All right. All right. But anyway, this is some things how you go into the Strongs. All right. To the Hebrew. All right. It's like you ain't got no computer I can show y'all. But anyway, let's get back on it. All right. Right. So anyway, so you're right, the different types of locusts, and it's just the way it is translated. That's it. Okay. All right. Not eat no actual beetle. Okay. All right. Not actually. Let me show you that one more time. Okay. Not actual eating this. Okay. All right. No, you can't eat that. All right. You can't eat that. Let's get back on it. All right. Verse 23. But all other flying, creeping things which have 4 feet shall be an abomination unto you. Verse 24. And for these ye shall be unclean. Whosoever toucheth the carcass of them shall be unclean until the evening. Right? Meaning, if you eat these, and you will be unclean. And if you touch the carcass of these creatures, and you are unclean until the evening. And a carcass is a dead body. All right, so a carcass is a dead body, right? And if you kill a mosquito with your hands, and you are unclean until the evening. And if you can just blow the mosquito off of you, right? Instead of you just, I got to get this mosquito off of me. Now you're unclean. Okay, now you gotta go wash your clothes. Now you gotta be unclean, okay? All right, to the evening, all right? Right, not, instead of doing that with your hands, killing mosquito or whatever, just blow it off for you, you know what I mean? Right, just blow it off. Just blow it off for you, all right? But anyway, right. Or take something and get it off of you, but don't take your hands and kill it, and you will be unclean, okay, until the evening. And now you have the carcass on your skin, and it is on your hand. So it is best when you have these flying, creeping things, and they become a nuisance to you, and find a better way instead of killing it with your hands. Now, it is not a sin to be unclean, but if you don't follow the necessary step to purify yourself according to the law, and now it becomes a sin, right? Okay, right. It's not a sin to be unclean, but if you don't go the proper steps, all right, purify yourself, then it becomes a sin, all right? Verse 25. And whosoever beareth it aught of the carcass of them shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the evening. Meaning, if you are carrying a carcass or touch the carcass of that, and you have to wash your clothes literally, and it don't matter if it didn't touch you, it's like it touched your clothes, but it just still got on your skin. So you still have to wash your clothes and wash yourself and be unclean until the evening. And just like now, these other nations are likened unto a beast. And when you are dealing with them, and you are unclean, and you are hanging around them and eating with them, other nations, or weed heads, crack smokers, or people that gamble and shooting dice, or gang banging, or sodomites, and you will be unclean hanging around them, and you will have to wash yourself on a spiritual level and purify yourself with the word of the Most High, and change your garment, and then you will be clean. So this thing is all about discipline, right? Verse 26. Verse 26, okay? The carcass of every beast which divided the hoof, and is not cloverfoot, nor chewed the cud, are unclean unto you. Every one that toucheth them shall be unclean. Right, meaning if you touch the carcass of any beast that divide the hoof, meaning it is split, and it is not clover-footed, nor chewed the cud, and you are unclean until the evening. Right. Verse 27. And whatsoever goaded upon his paw among all manner of beasts that go on all fours, those are unclean unto you. Whoso toucheth their carcass shall be unclean until the evening. Right. Goaded up on his paws, meaning like a dog, a cat, lion, tiger, a bear, a manner of beasts that go on all fours, those are unclean unto you, meaning you can't eat a bear, lion, dog, cat, tiger, and a bingo. Whoso toucheth their carcass shall be unclean until the evening, and it is not a sin to touch a lion, but if you touch the carcass of the lion, and you are unclean until the evening. Right, verse 28. And he that beareth the carcass of them shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the evening. They are unclean unto you. Meaning, if you are responsible for getting rid of that carcass and removing it out of the camp, and that person is unclean. Verse 29. These also shall be unclean unto you among the creeping things that creep upon the earth, the weasel and the mouse and the tortoise after his kind. Meaning the weasel, the mouse, and the tortoise is in the same category as a centipede, millipede, or an ant, or a dung beetle. So when you look at it and you put it on the same pedestal as those other creeping things, same thing, right? All right. So you put them on the same level, okay? All right. The mouse, the Taurus, okay? All right. Same category as the centipede and millipede, ants, all right? Right. And same concept. After his kind, the Taurus after his kind. Just look and see, different, the turtles, all right? The different types of turtles, okay? Guys, just look that up, okay? All right? Verse 30. And the ferrets, and the ferrets, and the charmeleon, and the lizard, and the snail, and the and the mole. 31. These are unclean. Read that again. These are unclean to you among all of that creep. Whosoever do touch them, when they be dead, shall be unclean unto the evening. Right? Meaning, if you touch a carcass of a lizard, chamelon, snail, ferret, mouse, Taurus, and you are unclean until the sun go down. Right? Let's go 32, verse 32. And upon whatsoever any of them, when they are dead, do fall, it shall be unclean, whether it be any vessel of wood, or raiment, or skin, or sack, whatsoever vessel it be, wherein any work is done, it must be put into water, and it shall be unclean unto the even, so it shall be cleansed. Right? Meaning it is a law that we have to go into, that we have to know how to deal with that. And you might look on your windowsill and see a dead fly on your windowsill and say, how do I act to this? All right? Or a dead fly in your wine glass, and how are you going to act to this? Right? And you have to, you have to figure this out by going into the law to know how to purify your house and keep your house clean, or otherwise you got all these dead things in your house and bringing it in spirit. And spirits, and now let's say if a woman got a purse and a bug landed on it and died, okay? A woman got a purse, okay, and a bug landed on it and died, and she has to get everything out of her purse and go put her purse in some water and wash it and be unclean until the evening. And it could be a sackcloth and something that you kind of hold, and it carries things like your coins. And if something died on it, and you have to take your money coins out and put it in water, and it got to be unclean until the evening. And a vessel of wood, and you might have a bowl made of wood that you have your apples, oranges in it, and you have a dead fly in your fruit bowl, and now you have to empty your fruit out of the bowl, and you take that bowl and wash it, and it be unclean until the evening. And that is the law of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. And also, this dietary law is not just about not eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. And these things run deep. And you have to know about the purification rites per venture. You do become unclean, right? Let's go verse 33. Verse 33. In every earthen vessel where into any of them falleth, whatsoever is in it shall be unclean, and ye shall break it. An earthly vessel is something made of ceramic, pottery, or of glass, and the and that elements made out of the earth, molten heat it up to be able to make a vessel to contain something. So anything that is made of glass, porcelain, ceramic, slunky pottery, and things of that nature. And if something died and land in that glass, and you got to break that glass and keep the law. And also we are vessels, and according to Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, and if we become unclean, and the Lord is going to break us, so we need to learn these laws, or the Lord is going to break us. And the Lord called it us in Hosea 8:8, a vessel wherein is no pleasure. So this law teaches you many things, discipline, the fundamentals and sacrifices. Let's go to Hosea 8:8. All right. Let's go to Hosea 8:8. Hosea 8:8. Israel is swallowed it up. Now shall they be among the Gentiles as a vessel wherein is no pleasure. Meaning we were broken, and the Lord destroyed us and took us out of our homeland and put us in captivity and put us in subjection to the heathen, and we lost our language, and we lost our God and the temple as well, and we are like unto vessels. Right. Let's go to Romans, all right, 9:21. Let's go to Romans 9:21. Okay. All right. Let's talk about this vessel. Okay. Romans 9:21. Romans 9:21. Have not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? Dishonor. The potter power over the clay, meaning we are earthen and vessel made of clay, and Israel is a vessel unto honor. But if we come unclean and defile with the dead, and the Lord is going to break us. So that teaches you how to maintain the cleanness of your house and to keep your house clean and pure, because if you are filthy, and you will have roaches and ants, and you will have all these unclean things coming in your house. And think about it on a spiritual level. If your spirit is unclean and you are not studying and reading, praying, fasting, and these same things are going to come in your house and rule over yourself the way you want your house to be ran, and vice versa, and you will fare well. But if you are filthy and nasty and defiled and abominable, and you are going to have these dead things in your house, and it's going to be a lot of broken vessels and a lot of damages, and your house is going to be destroyed, and then the Lord is going to destroy you. So we are a vessel unto honor, and Esau naturally is a vessel unto dishonor. Verse 22. What if Yahweh willing to shew his wrath and to make his power known endured it with much long suffering, the vessel of wrath fitted to destruction? Right, meaning Esau was created to be destroyed it, and he was created as a vessel fitted for destruction. Right. Let's go back. Leviticus 11:33. Leviticus 11:33. It's Leviticus 11:33, right? Okay. And every earthen vessel whereinto any of them falleth whatsoever is in it shall be unclean, and ye shall break it. right? Meaning if anything does fall into an earthly vessel and die, and you have to break it, and it is a foreshadow of what going to happen to the children of men. So we ought to keep our vessel clean. Verse 34, of all meat, of all meat which may be eaten, that on which such water cometh shall be unclean, and all drinks that may be drunk in every such vessel shall be unclean. Meaning all the meat that you have, and any drinks, and something defiles it, and it is unclean. Verse 35, and everything were upon any part of their carcass falleth shall be unclean, whether it be whether it be oven or ranges for pots, they shall be broken down, for they are unclean, and shall be unclean unto you. Right, meaning the oven, okay, a range for pots, okay, and they shall be broken down. All right, they should be broken down. Let's go into Hebrew, okay. Bear with me. Let's go into Hebrew 11 and 35. Okay. Okay, we're going into Hebrew, right? Okay. And it's showing you, okay? All right. A furnace, a oven, a fire pot, a portable stove for cooking, okay? Right. So something you got going into this Hebrew, okay? Knowing what this means, all right? Okay. And go to another one. Let's go to the range for pots. Okay. So that's a stove. A range, a cooking furnace is a stove. Okay. Right. That's what it is. Okay. Right. So sometimes we got to take our time and go into the Hebrew, all right? Know what this thing is. Okay? Right. But according to the law, you're supposed to get rid of it and get another stove or a microwave, and you have to get rid of it, right? So, cause if any dead thing on it, I mean, you got to get broke down, okay? Right. The stove, okay? Stove, ovens, all right? Right. But anyway, just showing y'all how to go into the Hebrew. It's like you can't do it like I really want to. Okay. But let's go to verse 36. But like you say, anyway, like say the oven and the range, and they shall be broken down according to the law, right? Right. You're supposed to get rid of them, all right? And get another stove or microwave, and you have to get rid of it, all right? Let's go to verse 36. Verse 36, nevertheless, a fountain or pit wherein there is plenty of water shall be clean, but that which toucheth their carcass shall be unclean. Verse 37. All right. And if any part of their carcass fall upon any sowing seed which is to be sown, it shall be clean. Meaning, if you plant a seed in the ground and a carcass fall on it, and it is still clean. Verse 38. But if any water be put upon the seed, and any part of their carcass fall, thereon, it shall be unclean unto you. Meaning, when that water hits it, and it start to grow, and it's going to germinate, and it is a sign of life. And if something dead fall on it, and it becomes unclean due to that plant sprouting and beginning to grow. Right. Verse 39. And if any beast of which ye may eat die, he that touched it, the carcass thereof, shall be unclean unto the evening. Right, meaning you have a beast that drop dead, have an heart attack, and die of itself, and you touch the carcass thereof, and you shall be unclean unto the evening. Right, verse 40. And he that eateth of the carcass of it shall wash his clothes and be unclean unto the evening. He also that beareth the carcass of it shall wash his clothes and be unclean unto the evening. Verse 41. And every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth shall be an abomination. It shall not be eaten. Right, meaning no rat, spider, mice, etc., etc. And we have to stop following the delicacies from these other nations. Okay, right. 42. Whatsoever goaded upon the belly, and whatsoever goaded upon all four, or whatsoever have more feet among all creeping things that creep upon the earth, them ye shall not eat, for they are an abomination. Right. Goaded upon the belly, meaning like a serpent, a Komodo dragon, and snakes, and anaconda. Goaded upon all fours, meaning like a bear, cat, lion, whatsoever have more feet, meaning centipedes, millipedes, and them shall you not eat, for they are an abomination. Right. Verse 43. You shall not make yourself abominable with any creeping thing that creepeth, neither shall ye make yourself unclean with them, that ye shall be defiled thereby. Verse 44. For I am the Lord your God. Ye shall therefore sanctify yourself, and ye shall be holy, for I am holy. Neither shall ye defile yourself with any manner of creeping things that creepeth upon the earth. Right. Who is the top creeping thing, meaning Esau, and he is the serpent. And the Lord said, upon thy belly shalt thou go, and thus shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. And then that's in Genesis 3 and 14 chapter. All right. And don't defile yourself with these creeping things that creep upon the earth. Right. Let's go to it. Let's go to Genesis 3 and 14. All right. Yeah, don't be defiling yourself with the creeping things, okay, on the earth. Genesis 3 and 14. All right. And the Lord, this Genesis 3 and 14, and the Lord Yahweh said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and thus shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. Right. So, right. Go back to Leviticus. Okay. We're going back to Leviticus. Right. So we're right. So don't defile yourself with any manner of creeping things that creep upon the earth. Right. Okay. Let's go to 45. 45. For I am the Lord that, read that again. For I am the Lord that bringeth you up out of the land of Egypt to be your God, to be your Yahweh. Ye shall therefore be holy, for I am holy. Right, 46. This is the law of the beast and of the fowls, of the fowl and of every living creature that moved it in the waters, and of every creature that creeped it upon the earth. Verse 47. To make, 47, to make a difference between the unclean and the clean, and between the beasts that may be eaten and the beasts that may not be eaten. Right. So that's the Leviticus 11 chapter. Okay. And just to throw this in there also, we can't be eating beasts that die of itself, okay, or have a heart attack, or roadkill, or strangle, or eat anything with the blood, or eat anything with fat. And these are other aspects of the law that we have to take note of according to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. So, okay, right. So that's Leviticus 11 chapter, all right. All right. About the dietary law. Okay, so it's more than pig, swine, shrimp, crab, and lobster. Like you say, these scriptures are spiritual as well. Okay, so right. Anyway, like I say, take the notes down. Okay, you go into them words or whatever. What's a Taurus? Or what's a hare? Okay, right. When you're reading this Leviticus 11 chapter, okay, you need to hit Google and put in there, what's a Taurus? What's a hare? A hare is a rabbit, okay? Right, you need to know this thing. What's the Taurus after his kind? Okay, right, you need to see all the different types of turtles, okay? Right. Like I say, you got to go into the Hebrew, right? The blueletterbible.org, all right? And look up some of them words, okay? All right. But anyway, hope it was edifying. Want to give the honor and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Shalom.